Want to bring in some breaking news. This just coming in. CBS News projects that Ohio issue number 1 will pass. That will enshrine abortion rights into the state constitution, making it the 7th state where Americans voted to protect the right to abortion and against new restrictions. Adriana?
I think what that's showing is that Americans are still galvanized by this issue. You know, Dobbs happened more than a year ago, and it's still something that's driving people to the polls. And we want to see, Democrats especially, want to see if that's going to continue to next year. But, you know, as we were just talking about, a lot of Republicans are kind of starting to look at that middle ground. You know, it's not as polarized as it has been in the past. People are changing their messaging, using different words, trying to find a way, a path forward, you know, to see if there could be a little bit more consensus. But another thing that you mentioned, Nancy, about the CBS News poll, where, you know, there was concern about whether or not Biden's economic message was falling on deaf ears. You know, when you break it down and look at minorities, Latinos said in our poll, 45% of them said that they would be worse off financially under another Biden presidency. And you look at Black voters, they said they'll be about the same. And, you know, we all saw the polls this weekend, including ours, that showed that he's really losing with minorities, and he needs them to win. Latinos, they want more messaging on the economy. You know, a lot of people think immigration's their top issue. Univision polls show that immigration's the 6th issue for them. The economy is pretty much the top 5. So, you know, Black voters also are feeling, you know, left out of the conversation. I spoke to an organizer in Wisconsin who said, you know, all the messaging that Biden was giving us, they aren't delivering. So they're really going to try to have to work on that.
Thank you, Adriana. I want to bring in Jericka Duncan because she is on the ground there in Ohio at that watch party. Jericka, tell me, I imagine that that particular group that had campaigned so hard to get this approved is elated this evening.
Yeah, so what you see behind me is not reflective of what I'm looking at. I actually stepped off of the stage for a second to go into the crowd, which is filled with people hugging each other, crying. I asked one woman, why are you crying? And she looked at me and she said, because I used to be a former legislator, and I told doctors who would call my office, if you really want to end this in terms of the taking away of access to abortion, you've got to make this an amendment. And she said, and I can't believe we did it. We actually did it. So I imagine that we will be hearing from many of the organizers who are in this room tonight within the next 10 or 15 minutes or so, because it is clear that this group is claiming victory tonight on issue 1, to enshrine a woman's right to an abortion here in Ohio. I did get some reporting from our reporter that's at another rally for the abortion's opponents, rather, and they said that they're going to continue to fight, although they are not saying that this is over just yet. From what we're hearing from our reporter that's there, they're going to focus on the parental issue, and that is the idea that in the language on this ballot, they feel that there are parental rights that should be considered that are not in this issue. But as of right now, really the big story is people are starting to make their way here, I'm sure, to listen to speakers, is that this issue, and I believe CBS News is calling 57 to 42, that it's a yes.
Yes, and Jericka, can you turn the camera? Can you show us the crowd? Can you?
We can. You know what? If we could try to, there's a lot. So stay with us. There's a number of other networks and whatnot. So we're just going to keep going. Scott's going to help me out here.
Yeah, this is interesting.
So if you look right here, hundreds
this is what people want to see behind the scenes. Yes.
I almost want to tell people, excuse me, could you just move a little? No. But
this
there's
is
a
what
number
it looks
of
like.
people who are hugging, who were crying, who were just excited. And if you can, zoom in a little bit and see some of the faces of the people. Said he can't quite zoom in, but I'm going to bring you back over here, actually, so stay with me. This is live television at its finest.
Well, while you're, well, I was going to say, you know, I'll talk to you, Jericka.
This is the crowd.
I mean,
this is the crowd that we're looking at. And again, go ahead.
If Republican voters feel that they have been defeated in this particular ballot amendment, they're not going to want to bring up the issue again in a presidential race and when there's a key Senate race there, one that would galvanize additional Democratic voters. They need to find a way to galvanize their own voters.
But if you're the DNC, you're trying to figure out how can we get this issue on ballots in as many states in the country as possible
In fact,
2024.
You think to yourself, okay, New York's going to do this, big whoop. Well, that helps because how many House races could help tip the balance of power in the House that are going to be decided there right around New York City? If you drive out more Democratic voters or people inclined to support abortion rights, you could potentially tip the scales of the House back to Democrats.
All right, we'll continue this conversation after the break. We've got more results, and we'll talk about the biggest issues on voters' minds. That's next.